Warning: the following opinions and views of the Chrono podcast do not reflect the sport of airsoft as a whole. Viewer discretion is advised. Warning. Snap. All right. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Chrono podcast. I'm your host today, TDL Sasquatch, as always, and I'm joined here with a regular from the Spokane Airsoft community, the Airsoft Man of the Year as well, Mr. Alex Hudson. Alex, how you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm glad to be here.
Awesome.
It's good to see you.
Yeah. So, Airsoft Man of the Year, is that just a local airsoft thing over at Nitehawk, or is it what's entail?
So every year we try to give away an award to someone who really helps out at the field. We feel contributes and gives back to the community. Personally, I don't even know if I deserve it, but everyone else seems to think that I do. So I'm glad, to rep the team and rep the field. I'm part of a team called Soup. And every game we're out there at Nitehawk, I try to go out to Pegasus when I can. I'm always trying to promote all the local fields, because I really care about this community and I just want it to grow.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think you're deserving of it. You work your ass off at the field, whether it's the Chrono Shack or like getting the raffles going or reffing and stuff like that, or rallying the team on the field as well, or just commanding the Legion during the Fallout game.
Oh, that was so much fun.
Oh yeah.
I'll never forget that game.
Yeah, man. Dude, I'm looking forward to next year's. It's going to be great.
As am I. We really hope to expand a lot of things. So for all the people that haven't gone this year, they'll get to go next year hopefully and see all what we're adding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a fun one. It's going to be even bigger. It is going to be called something different too, right?
Yes. So Fallout being copyrighted, it's going to be called Fallout Base. As long as we don't use the exact Fallout name and their trademarks, we're good. So we're just making it more of a general post-apocalyptic event.
Right. Okay. So it's not like calling it the Legion and the NCR. It's like using different names and stuff like that, but the same concept.
Yes. So,
okay.
I believe the NCR is going to be the Cascade Rangers, and then I'm Army Legion, so we're going to be the Czar's Legion. So it's going to be all Czarist based. So
that's cool.
For that.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Definitely going to be rolling to that event. That is in April. I know that's because you guys were. Is that date set in stone? Because I know Meeseeks was talking about adjusting it or some reason, something like that.
It was at first, but no, that was just getting it figured out. It is locked in. It will be on the 12th of April.
Okay, awesome. Cool. Well, let's get right into it as well. So, what I like to do during these podcasts, I like to talk about a little bit of airsoft news, games coming up, and then field spotlights and stuff like that. You yourself have probably watched a few previous episodes as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So let's get right into it. Upcoming games, I believe you guys have one that's going on the 14th at Nitehawk.
Yes, sir. We have our Grinch game, which is going to be not the 14th of this month, but of next month. It'll be December 14th, I believe. It is our Grinch game, and the whole point is we're going to have two juggernauts, one dressed up as the Grinch, one dressed up as Santa Claus, and they're going to go at it, and they'll have two teams trying to capture presents,
Oh, that's cool.
If you want to shoot the field owner, Dale, as the Grinch, this is your opportunity to do that.
Absolutely, always shoot Dale.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Yeah, check that out. nitehawkpaintballandairsoft.com. I will link it down below in the description. Yeah, that's coming up.
Also promote another field. There's a field called Air Combat Battlefield in Burley, Idaho. I've gone to them about 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
They're a really solid group of guys. They do games every Friday and Saturday. I strongly recommend their field.
Okay. I'm going to put that in the future notes. Air Combat. It's just called Air Combat, or what's that field called?
Air Combat Battlefield. That's what it's called.
Air Combat Battlefield Airsoft. Okay. It's in the PNW area, so I'll give them a shout out as well, especially to a few Oregon fields as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that game's coming up as usual. White Hack is having their weekly specials right now. They adjust their pricing. They are really trying to get going again with all the hubbub that's been happening. So right now their pricing is $25 all day, 40 with rental. So like $25 self equip, $40 with the rental. And then they're doing like $5 a game self equipped, $10 a game with a rental. So that's a pretty darn good price. And they're doing also a season pass special to help them keep going. It's $150 for 10 all day play games, which breaks down to like $15 a day. And I mean, 10 games, if like go once a month or whatever, that's pretty darn good, in my opinion.
That's a very good, value proposition right there, especially for CQB in that area. There's no one else around, so gotta support him there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, and they could use people support more than ever right now. Yeah, check them out. Check them out. I'll link their well, they don't have a Facebook page anymore. Shoot. Yeah, I'll just say the address here: 15th South Front Street in downtown Yakima, Washington. Check them out. What other games are happening? I do not know for sure. Any Pegasus ones coming up?
No, Pegasus just had their end of year game. They end on Veterans Day every year, and they won't be back up till April.
Okay.
And then CQB Underground up in Bonner's Ferry, they do weekly games.
Okay. CQB Underground. I need to give them a shout out too. I need to head over there. I've heard it's really fun.
Oh, it's good. The guy that runs it, Richard's a personal friend of mine, and I really can't recommend him enough. I'm not a big CQB guy, but I'll tell you. But I will say it's run very well.
That's awesome.
Nitehawk's going to be taking a trip. We're working on it in January, so we're going to take a bunch of people up there. Help them just run the thing and get as many people as we can to play up there.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, we're trying to kind of do the same thing down here in Yakima, but it's been difficult with the whole situation and drama and stuff like that. But
sure, we'll get in touch after the podcast and work out a day, and I'll try and make a Nighthawk day for that.
Hell yeah!
People up there, and we'll get people out there.
Yeah,
because I'm a big believer, and a lot of people in this community, I feel this is one thing we could work on. Is I believe a rising tide lifts all boats. Airsoft isn't in a famine mentality. We got to feast.
Yep, definitely, and the word of mouth networking spreading is always been king, no matter if it's social media or stuff like that. That's always how you find out about games and all that good stuff. Yeah, no, it's a crucial weekend right now. We're trying to get as many people. So if you know anybody who's got a free weekend, let them know about it, especially to the viewers at home who are listening to this podcast as well. Can't recommend them enough. And they also have had a awesome field expansion that they've been working very hard on. So it's no longer that L-shaped field anymore. It's just gameplay now, but they've reduced the retail area to where it's just a little section, and then you got the staging area, and then they took I think 3 of the inside rooms and converted them into the field. So you got good flanking routes and all sorts of stuff, good corners to hide in. It's just a good time. I got some good footage there as well. I'll be posting in some future YouTube videos. So,
heck yeah,
man, it's gonna be great. So that is pretty much it for like games coming up, I think. Oh, how about Stalingrad in January? You want to enlighten us a little bit on that?
Goodness, great! I'm happy I get to talk about this. Yes. Stalingrad is my baby. What we're working on this year. Last year we did more of a points-based game because I just was giving it kind of a last-minute thing, and we just made it happen. Well, this year I'm putting a lot more into it, and it's going to be immersion-based.
Okay.
So we're going to have snipers. We're going to have people essentially playing characters on the field, and we're going to have artillery. It's going to be a big thing because I want to try and get people the feel of Stalingrad. So lots of artillery, lots of snipers, lots of trench fighting. It's going to be cold. It's in January, but that really gets you in the mindset of it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I've been itching to get into some Snowsoft, and There are a few people in Ellensburg that have been talking about coming up there for Stalingrad, and they're like, Sasquatch, you should come up with us. And I'm like, let me see. I actually kind of want to. I want to make it for a January game. I think it'd be fun. It's only my main concern is the drive and weather and road conditions is my main concern. But it's like
Sure.
if everything's clear, I'm gonna do my best to try and make it over for that event. So y'all check that out as well. That's coming up January 18th.
Yes, January 18th.
Sweet. Yeah, definitely check that out.
And if
Exciting
anyone
stuff.
has, yeah, and if you have any questions or if anyone wants to, help volunteer and play in the game,
Mhm.
feel free to hit me up. My contacts, my DMs are always open on Facebook or Discord.
Yep, definitely. All right, I'm gonna share my screen here real quick. That way you can see what I'm seeing. So we're gonna get into the news section of Airsoft and what's happening. I know this was announced like a week or so ago.
Yes, sir.
S&T is coming in with some heavy hitting replicas right here. I'm seeing like a PPSH, is a couple of cars, an AN94 as well.
Oh gosh, I'm very excited. So the full list of what they're coming out with, they are revising their PPSH.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming out with an MP41, which is what the gentleman is holding in that photo there.
Yep.
They're coming out with a DP28 light machine gun from the Soviet Union.
Ooh. An SKS, right?
Yep, they're coming out with an SKS.
That's huge.
An AN94, and I believe they're also coming out with a Chinese Type 56 rifle, so the Chinese version of the AK.
Ooh.
I mean, these will all be AEGs.
Still, though, you don't really see replicas of those firearm models at all as
Well,
much.
I'm very excited. I'm glad. The second that AN94 drops, I will be picking one up. I can tell you that right now.
Oh man, that's gonna be killer. Especially like if they have it. I mean, it would be kind of finicky, but it would be cool if it was sort of electric blowback. Because doesn't the barrel on the real still version like recoil?
Yes, the way it works actually on the real one, it has pulleys inside of the gun that run on a metal wire. So as the barrel fires, these metal pulleys spin and it pulls the barrel back and forth.
That is flipping wicked, and it's like an offset magazine
Yes.
well.
It's a 35-degree cant on the magazine. Yes.
That is freaking insane. Yeah, no, S&T coming out heavy at the end of this year. Definitely check some of those out. This is just off of Popular Airsoft. I use their articles and stuff all the time, but that's some heavy hitting stuff coming from them. Very exciting. The PPSH is going to be fun to work too, especially with the drum.
I'm also really excited to come out. The other gun that I forgot to mention, SVT-40 as well. So for those Soviet EMR builds, I hope to get an SVT-40, put like a Wolverine in it or something.
Oh, that'd be
that
cool.
Would be an amazing build.
Yeah, that'd be really, really killer. Definitely. Oh yeah. Oh, so yeah, S&T coming heavy. Oh, what was that?
I was saying, in other news, Novrich is dropping his new soft.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, let's find that real quick. The Novrich, is it the SSR
249?
249. Yeah. Airsoft Cam Man actually did a review on it.
Oh.
He released a video on it, and yeah, their Airsoft Cam Man LMG self-destructs at Airsoft game. So what happened is the MOSFET burnt up.
Well, if there's one part that would go, it would make sense. It would be the MOSFET.
Yeah, no. So he did contact Novrich, and they did send him a non-faulty one, and they did fix that problem with the replica. So hopefully that, prevents a MOSFET burning up. It was a good thing it was a MOSFET too, instead of the LiPo, or that would have been just massively explosive.
Sure. And another thing too, for all the garbage people give Novrich, his warranties are very good.
Yeah.
That's one positive that I can definitely say is they will take care of you on the warranty department.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've gotten a lot better with that. That is for sure.
Yes.
Like a big turnaround. Another big turnaround from what I've heard with Lancer Tactical and their Gen 3s is that their quality control has gotten a lot better compared to the problems that the Gen 2 has had as well.
Yes. I see a lot fewer of those coming across my tech bench than I used to.
Mm-hmm.
The ones that I keep seeing, sadly now, I see a lot of Crytax lately.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that a shocker? The QC has just gone downhill. I was explaining that in the last episode. It's like Crytek, when you think, a good mid to high tier, top dog, Crytek is always mentioned, but it's like, what?
Well, the joke for years was always, "Oh, buy a Crytek." People would say, "Just buy a Crytek,"
Yeah.
and it was true. If you bought one, you were good.
Mm-hmm.
But the QC going down is just sad.
Mm-hmm.
I hope they turn it around and they see the forest for the trees and we get some good guns again.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with their new Tridents that were released. Hopefully that just turns them around too.
Because E&L for a while, their E&L went downhill. They were going
Mm-hmm.
down, then they got purchased by MOS, and their stuff's been great ever since. So I really hope the same for Crytek.
Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely need turnarounds for that. And then Lancer, I know this was a few months ago, but I never addressed it. They've announced their Gen 4. So now they got Gen 4s out. So I'm looking at the Lancer Tactical Gen 4 Predator 10-inch SBR. So you got a Nebula 2 pre-installed programmable MOSFET, ambidextrous and large fire control, ambidextrous charge handle, bolt catch functions for realistic action, high quality metal alloy billet style receiver, precise CNC, yada yada yada. I'm going to be staying tuned for some YouTube reviews on this as well. We'll see if Lancer will, keep bouncing back when it comes to the QC. So,
hey, we can only hope.
Yeah. The other thing is that when you're taking on one, aren't they like slightly different too when it comes to assembly?
In a couple different ways, but the Lancers are pretty good.
Okay.
It's the Crytax and the other ones that are different. The Lancers, for the most part, are pretty universal and work with a lot of stuff.
Okay. All right, because I remember somebody talking about. I think it was Bob from Macaque or MCAC.
Mm-hmm.
He was talking about how the hop ups and the buckings were like a millimeter or so longer, to where they don't not line up as well if it's a non-Lancer brand hop up unit or so.
Yes, a couple of their guns, but it depends on the model too. Though you got to be careful. That's the thing. Some
Okay.
are, some aren't. It's up to variation.
Okay, awesome. So yeah,
And
that's
then,
a big bounce back.
and then on the other side of products, the one side I'm very disappointed in is Specna. I don't know if you saw the story about what Specna did.
Really? No, I haven't.
So Specna just signed into an agreement with Evike, and Evike is going to be now their sole distributor in the United States. And they fired a lot of their staff in the United States, including Charlie, who's the gentleman who essentially got him on the map. Charlie worked for G&G before he went to Specna, and he's been the gentleman responsible for really getting their name out in the community.
Yeah, I think I follow Charlie on Instagram. Yeah.
You should. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
If anyone here doesn't, definitely I recommend it.
Yeah, definitely. And that sucks because, I mean, Specna Arms, like, recently they've came out. I forget what model number it is. We have one. And it's a fantastic starter gun along with the Arcturus MK1 LWT. And then having a switch up like that, it's like, okay, wow. I mean, at least have, like, go ahead with the Evike deal and then, not fire your staff. That would be more ideal.
Yeah, I just feel it was kind of sad the way that they treated some of the people.
That sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. But yeah, no. But it's like everybody. Well, I mean, I don't know what Charlie's gonna do. Maybe he'll go back to G&G. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, we'll just have to see what happens there.
Yep, where the cards fall. But yeah, no. They're a heavy hitting. They're heavy hitting when it comes to beginner quality. That's for sure. But I mean, compared to the two, I'll go with an Arcturus LWT all day.
Same here.
Dude.
Arcturus has completely blown it out of the water of what's expected in that price range.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's incredible for $160 a gun with a MOSFET.
Yeah.
Like,
running 11-1 out of the box and stuff like that. That's flipping insane.
Yes, it is.
Also, I got her assembled.
Yes.
It is assembled. So,
Yes.
Some of the viewers know that I've been working on a giveaway gun, and it is a VSR10. I'm definitely going to be putting a weaker spring in it because it chronoed at, well, initially it was 2.8 joules, and then it dropped down to 2.4. So I don't know what's causing it to drop joules so fast after a few shots.
Hmm.
Maybe it's just spring breaking in. I don't know, but I mean, she functions now, so
Good.
she's noisy. it ain't exactly quiet, but she functions. So, but yeah, no. Basically, what I did is I took apart my Squatch gun and I just threw the whole front end of that one onto the receiver. So basically, the only original part of that gun is the plastic receiver itself, and I built a whole new upper.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, hey, it'll it'll treat somebody well. So it's got a bar 10 430 millimeter outer barrel with a 430 millimeter Lilac 6.01 millimeter bore barrel, and it is S-hopped with my Angel custom CNC hop up unit, which is TDC ready, by the way. Whoever wins this replica will be able to break it down if they want to, and just swap out the hop arm, and they'll be able to, put a TTI dial on it if they want to. So it's already drilled and ready for that. It's got aftermarket barrel spacers in it. It's got an Action Army twisted cylinder with a 90-degree Action Army piston and Maple Leaf 90-degree trigger unit. So should be ready to rock and roll. I'm going to get a weaker spring and take it to a few games to test her out to make sure she's good. And then I got a buddy of mine who works at the Airsoft Center who does laser engraving. So we're going to get it laser engraved, like Squatch Edition or something like that. And then I'm going to put a custom paint job on the plastic. So it's going to
Heck
look
yeah.
nicey for the. I don't know what game I'm going to give it away at, but it'll be some game. So
Sure. Whoever wins that's going to be a very happy camper.
absolutely, somebody who's wants to snipe.
Yes.
Yeah, this is not a first time player giveaway. I hate I hate to say it, but I don't want them to have the sport killed off for them because they got lit up by an AEG.
The people I think watch a lot of Novrich and whatnot. They get a bad conception of what airsoft sniping is like versus what it really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, that's happening. Field spotlight today. We are going with Taags Airsoft. Trying to find their web. They don't have a website, do they?
I've never been to Taags before. Actually, I've not had the pleasure.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. All right. So it is in Kent. Yeah, Kent, Washington. I've heard a lot of good things from a few local players about this place. Let's see. Here we go. This is the official site for tactical airsoft or tactical assault airsoft gaming squad Taags, information and events. We meet once a month and have a focus on Milsim Airsoft. Everyone is welcome, no matter age or experience. We pride ourselves on drills that are battle accurate and have good number of active and reserve military among our ranks. That's awesome. Looks like their next game is Saturday, December 28th. If anybody is interested. Events. Let's see. Oh, Lord. Let me hold on one sec here. It's making me log in. Continue. Blah, 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 blah. It won't let me show photos. What the hey? So, yeah.
I definitely plan one time to try and make it over there. I've not played that field, but I try to play every field around here.
Yeah.
That's one of the few I haven't made it to, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to try too. I mean, $20 a ticket, that's a good price.
Yes, it is, especially in this day and age.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find photos. I want photos. Images. I want photos of the field. So it looks like they got watchtowers and it's, a very forested area. Here's a good overview of it.
Okay. Reminds me almost of the swamp if you've ever played there.
I have not. That's another bucket list swamp field I want to go to for sure.
Yes, yes, sir. The swamp in Oregon. I strongly recommend them. Oh, and then the other shout out I got to make is to the game we played at Fort Stevens. It's in Fort Stevens, Washington. It's a
Mhm.
milsim. Very awesome location, right there on the coast in the bunker, where actual World War II like bunkers. It was awesome.
Oh, is that Viking Milsom?
Yes, yes, it is.
Yeah, Art went there as
Yes,
well.
he did. Yes.
Fort Stevens. Yep. I'm just putting in my notes of future shout outs for future episodes. But yeah, no, it looks like a very it is West Coast. It's going to be a lot of green. So for my fellow snipers out there and camouflage blending enthusiast, M81, Marpat, multicam jungle, a lot of those green camos are going to be your strong suit for that. Yeah, no, it's definitely a field that I want to try for sure. Definitely. But yeah, that's all we got for news and field shoutouts. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about today. Airsoftcon. The Soup Squad was able to make it down there, all the way down to what, Anaheim?
It's just south of Los Angeles.
Holy cow, that's a long drive.
It was we drove around 20 hours. Yes.
Jeez.
Drove 13 on the first day, 7 on the second.
Wow. That is insane. Yeah, so give us a breakdown and tell us how was it? Like, what was the experience like?
Airsoftcon is a really interesting convention. If you've been to other conventions, it's really not like those.
Okay.
Check-in was smooth. It was very cramped, so there was a lot of people there, and it's really good that they limited the numbers because it's not a very big location.
Mm-hmm.
And having 3,000 people in the location they did was very much like as many people as you could fit in there.
Mm-hmm.
Food-wise, they had, I believe, 2 food trucks. Oh, they had 3. Right? They had 3 food trucks. And food was a little expensive, but it's Southern California, so you're gonna, have to deal with that.
Right.
Yeah. Positive, they gave away a lot of guns. I mean, I think they gave away 180 guns total.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a bunch of different things. Like if you came dressed in your gear, you actually got extra tickets for the raffles. They had a very small CQB field running in the corner, and that was pretty cool.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was cool, and it was all free, so you could just go in there and play.
Oh heck yeah!
Ordering stuff was the hardest part because the store was so packed.
Mm-hmm.
It was like standing room only inside the actual e-bike store. And
right.
You had to get a number essentially, and then they'd call you over so you could go buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it was very long lines, and I get it though. The biggest thing, the reason to go, I would say, is if you want to get something deal wise, they had some amazing sales.
Really?
Like they had a high kappa there for like a nice one, like an STI staccato high kappa for $80.
Oh.
They had the featherweight saw on sale for I think 110.
Wow.
They had the Sega Tri-Shot for 150. Yeah, I mean it was some really, really good con deals.
That is insane. Because how much is that shotgun retail? Honestly, it's like what?
It's the double bell one, so it's actually
okay.
I was incorrect. It's only a single shot, but normally it retails for like 200, and they had it on sale for like 120. I think actually now.
Wow.
And then they had that STI is normally like 150, so it's on sale for 90. And then they had a SIG MPX, and that thing goes for like I think 150, and it was on sale for like $75.
That is insane! Holy cow! It's that SIG license one, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, we actually traded one of those for an MK1 LWT from Art.
Oh, nice.
That's how Beeper got her LWT. But anywho, that's insane deals wise, and then there was a bunch of big faces and big names there as well, right?
There was. And there was a lot of exclusives too. Like Elite Force was there, and they had an exclusive gunfighter revolver.
Ooh.
Just for that. They had like 50 on sale, I believe. And then G&G was there. They were giving away a bunch of stuff. MOS had a nice booth there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a couple different milsim groups that had fields there too.
Interesting. That's awesome. I see that. So Museeks, he sent me a picture, and it was him and Christopher, the swamp sniper from
Yeah.
Balahack.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Is he gonna make it over for Fallout?
We'll have to see. I don't believe so, but it just depends
Ah.
on his schedule. He's a very busy guy, unfortunately for us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's huge that he knows of, Washington Airsoft. That is big.
He's a really cool guy. I met him once in Virginia when
Really.
I was, yeah, very cool guy, very humble. I have not a bad thing to say about the man.
That's cool. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I'd love to make it down there one of these times. It sounds like a sounds like a zoo. Some
Oh,
of the some of the stuff in Texas I heard is really fun too.
I've never been to Texas. I've been all over the East Coast. I've been to the West Coast, but I've never really been to the southern part of the United States.
I will say it is. I love the state, even though it's hot. Like we went to San Antonio in August, and like as soon as we got out of the rental car, you're sweating. But
Oh, I've never been to Texas, funny enough, but I've been to Louisiana.
mhm.
Went to Louisiana in August. Oh my god, you're taking a shower the second you're out of the car. I don't know how people play airsoft. You're just drenched in sweat. I couldn't imagine wearing gear and whatnot.
Yeah, ugh. Like like some of that what is it, Airsoft Alphons, Eddie Valiant, they were all over at the abandoned Six Flags playing Airsoft. I
Oh my
can't
goodness,
imagine. Ugh.
that that field is crazy. The fact that it's at an actual Six Flags like that,
Yeah.
and they have no railings or anything.
Mhm.
One guy got really hurt at that game. I heard.
Really?
Yeah, they had to call an ambulance and everything. He ended up being all right, but I'm not surprised. All the broken windows and glass and everything.
Yeah, and then being able to climb up on top of the roller coasters and shit.
Oh my! Watching that video, I'm like, oh my goodness. I don't know how they got insurance for that.
Yeah. Insane waiver, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's freaking nuts. Yeah, no, that's AirsoftCon, it's a annual thing, isn't it?
it has been. They canceled it because of COVID. This is the first year it came back since
Oh,
COVID.
okay. Yeah, that's
But it was cool too to see what everyone in the industry is coming up with.
mhm.
You're not having to be for the people that couldn't go to SHOT Show or that kind of stuff. You could still get into Airsoftcon and see a lot of what they had going on there.
Right, a lot of the new innovative stuff because I know G&G has always been innovative. I mean, hell, that Lev AR.
Oh my gosh, my
Oh,
husband loves his Lev AR.
yeah. With the makes it easy to carry, Alan. with the with the knife
Oh
handle.
yeah. Ugh. And the thing too that G&G is doing that's kind of cool is all their guns are now like cross compatible if they're an M4. So they have their new PCC carbine, which has a folding front barrel,
Okay.
and if you really want to, you could put that on the Levar. You could put it on any of their AEGs.
Oh snap!
And
That's huge.
the other thing G&G is coming out with it, which I think is going to be massive, like the biggest game changer. They're coming out with a drop-in GBB V2 gearbox. So it's a gearbox that goes into a normal M4 or any V2, but it makes the gun GBB.
Holy wow. Okay.
I think that's going to be a game changer.
That is going to be a game changer for sure. Um, that reminds me, there is this drop-in V2 gearbox that's supposed to compete with the Polar Star Kythera. I can't put my finger on it. I forget what it was called. I just had it. But yeah, no. That's another thing that's gonna like innovate airsoft again. Like it's mechanical V2 HPA. So you got the hose, you just drop it in and go. Instead of opening up the gearbox and gutting it out. I mean, hell, I still got to do that with my flipping Mark 12 and gut that thing out and then
Sure.
yeah, saw the spring guide and pray that the threads line up when you hook it back in. But yeah, no, that's wow. G&G's always been like that though. They've always been innovative. It's just teching wise, aren't they kind of a nightmare?
They're very proprietary. They're very
Proprietary.
good, and their tolerances are very good. But G&G is very proprietary. Like I just got done working on an RK-47, and it's a normal AK receiver, but they put a bar in between where the trigger would go, so you couldn't put a normal AK gearbox in. So I had to Dremel that away to fit a normal V3 AK gearbox in
That's weird. Yeah, okay, so nothing's like TM spec.
it. Some parts are, but for the most part, no.
Okay.
The hoppers are, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I had to do a bit of interesting teching myself on that snipper. So, I mean, so saved like $60 not purchasing a new bolt handle and cap. I had to sand down the end of that cylinder for that to fit, and it works. So it slides on there nicely. It's just it was like a couple millimeters off. It was weird, but I mean,
Mm.
I guess that's what you got to do with sometimes in teching. I'm still a novice at it, but like
Well,
I already. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
everyone's learning. Like
Yeah.
taking is never a set in stone. If someone tells you that they know everything, that's someone I try and ignore, because there's always stuff to learn. I'm learning stuff. Even the best in the industry are always learning stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I just got a text from Jim. He's like, Josh, next time I can make it to the Airsoft, I'm gonna bring you my VSR10. I'm like, sure, I'll take a look at it. The only thing is if it's a well, I'm not gonna take it.
Oh, you've definitely learned that the wells are not.
No.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, if I want to Dremel out that outer barrel, I might be able to make a hop-up fit in it, but nah, it is what it is.
sure.
The rifle's together, and it's gonna serve somebody well. That's all that matters.
Amen to that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, and it's also suppressor ready. So, I mean, the threads on my old barrel, they're kind of sketch. So I put some Loctite, wrapped it around with duct tape, and got some fabric tape around it, so it's nice and solid. But you should be able to put a suppressor on the end if you want to suppress it a bit. I will say though, I would recommend maybe later taking, or hell, maybe I'll do it. Is putting some foam in the stock, and that'll make it a little bit quiet. Like if I rack, like I have my SRS right here. Like if we rack the SRS, it's a lot quieter than, and this could be just new parts too. A lot quieter than the Squatch Edition VSR. So, I could fill that with. Oh yeah, I could fill that with like spray foam if I wanted to. That might be ideal. I don't know, just little sniper tricks of the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But also, TDLs were building a cabin, right?
Yes, I've seen the location. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm going to be supplying paint, and then, yeah, it's going to be flipping killer. And it's also going to be sort of an alarm system for me seeks if somebody's on the field breaking into people's stuff. Because I heard Wolf's like, yeah, we're going to have like a siren air horn or something like that going off, and flashing lights are. I'm like, oh shit, it's going to be like a Gucci pad or something like that. It'd be fun to just camp too.
Well, that's the part you never hear about Airsoft. The sad part of running a field
Mm-hmm.
is, since it's kind of beat up and broken, every teenager from 30 miles around thinks, hey, this is a great place for me to go, drink or go out and break out the windows in cars,
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times you've had to trip off, to chase off all these kids you're trying to sneak onto the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. It's like, and Meeseeks has even told me a few encounters that he's had recently too. That's flipping crazy. And that AK. Oh my gosh, dude, that thing is. Well, it makes me feel good that I mean, he bought it for a good price, and then.
Sure.
I mean, that thing is a ripper. It is a straight ripper, and to have something like that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the one thing you don't go breaking and entering at an airsoft field, because they will shoot you. There are trespassing signs for a reason, and that's what happened. Somebody was siphoning gas from Meeseeks' trailer. Meeseeks heard it. He grabs his AK, walks out the door, and he's like, I'm going to give you 3 seconds to leave. 1, 2, 3. And just lights him up. And it's like, no brainer. Why would you do that? Or wasn't there like somebody's pet cougar?
No, it wasn't a pet. It was just a wild. We've had wild animals. We've had a wild cougar on the field,
Okay.
and we've had other animals. We've had a bear before once too.
Oh, that's scary. Screw that. Screw that. I'll just thank God we're getting a cabin. Can you imagine black bear coming back by one of the tents? Well, then again, I don't think they would be around with all the people that are there on the
No,
weekend.
no. When there's lots of people, those things make themselves scarce. It's just when you're out there working by yourself, like me or Dale out there working on the fence.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen pretty much every critter you can think of. We saw a moose once even. So,
Those are even scarier, dude.
oh gosh. Yeah, I'm out there pounding fence posts and I hear this noise and I'm going, "What's that?" And I look up and there's a moose about 100 yards away. And I'm going, "You stay over there, Mister Moose. I'm going to stay right here. I don't want nothing to do with you."
Like the classic, hey, I think you're neat, but I respect your distance.
Exactly,
Dude.
exactly.
Oh, bear and moose, two animals like whether you're hunting, airsofting, or hiking that I do not want to encounter. Screw that. Or a cougar. Ugh.
Yeah,
Like let them be. I'm gonna let y'all be. You do your thing. I'm gonna do mine away from you. Yeah, no, that's the other thing that you see, and I've had to talk to a few people on the field as well. Like there's been a deer, and one person like started, full autoing towards the deer, and it's like, hey,
Um,
it's like,
every safety brief I try and cut it with people, man. That's the thing that stinks about airsoft.
mhm,
Common sense is not common, and people, if you do not explicitly cover it in no uncertain terms,
yes,
people will do the dumbest things possible.
absolutely, yeah, no, it's silly that you have to, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I just gotta announce it. Like, don't shoot, you know. Oh, you can't shoot lasers at the planes? No, that's a felony.
No, I mean, goodness. And the sad thing is, a lot of the time you'd think it'd be kids, but it's a lot of the older people sometimes too doing some of this stuff. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, my goodness.
Yeah, screw that.
The one that I was going to talk about that really got me, there's a clip going around. They're playing at the paintball world finals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guy comes around the corner and the other guy takes his marker and puts it up under the guy's mask like his chin and shoots him in the chin.
Are you serious?
I just saw that today and I was thinking, just airsoft or paintball, common sense and respect. Would you want someone to do that to you? Like, I cannot get over people that do that stuff, or the people that I see on YouTube sometimes take like a grenade and try and put it in someone's, shirt or something. Like, I have no respect for that. Airsoft is a game at the end of the day. And if you're doing dangerous
Yeah.
stuff like that, I just,
Yeah, you're there to have fun, not hurt. Did they get arrested?
no, not that I'm aware of. I don't think the guy got kicked out. I'll have to look into it more, but that I did not hear anything about that.
Because that's just straight assault.
It is.
Wow.
It reminds me a couple years back there were some kids, I think it was in North Carolina. They had HPA systems and they were just going full auto. They cranked him up and so the guy field owner called the cops on him and they're trying to say, "Oh, it's airsoft, we're at the field."
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize if you're, maliciously going out of your way to hurt someone like that, that is assault.
Yeah.
They don't get that.
Like the one time with that full out of 50 cal.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, he's locked up now. They caught him in what, Montana?
Yes.
Yeah, word spreads quick. Like, don't be an idiot,
Yeah, don't be an idiot and crime doesn't pay. That's the
right?
don't steal from the field. Don't do dumb stuff because eventually it catches up with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. No, that's wow. And paintball hurts a lot more than flipping airsoft. I can't imagine taking a paintball straight to the jaw.
I couldn't either. Like, oh my gosh, that would hurt so bad.
Yeah.
I've been out there once to help Dale. I refed one time, and I'm like, never again. I don't want to get shot. Paintball hurts so much more. I admit it. I am a wuss. I'm an
Mm-hmm.
airsoft wuss. I fully admit that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I don't want to get hit that hard either. I mean, I want to try paintball one of these days, but you're gonna catch me at a distance like I usually am.
Sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no. So, new stuff on the field happening as well.
Yes.
I'm gonna have Dale on here one of these days too, and have him talk about it too. But I mean, you guys got a new Chrono Shack, and that's looking real nice.
Oh man, got it done this last weekend. We used it. It's all painted and everything.
Nice.
We're putting out windows, gonna have heaters in it in the winter, so when people come to Chrono, they're all heated and everything.
That's awesome. Yeah, and it's like 100 foot um, firing range too, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Dude, that's awesome.
And in the other things that we're doing too, we're hoping to build a second bunkhouse next to the Chrono Shack, which is going to be a permanent retail location. So Nomad or any of the other stores can come in and have a heated location for people to purchase items at the field.
That is huge. Oh, dude, absolutely. That's a great idea.
Yep, that's one thing I proposed, and so we're going to start doing that. And then the other thing we're doing, Dale's working on getting the water and the power out there, so the field should have water and power this year.
Sweet. That's going to be huge too. Um, yeah, no, and then you guys are, the Nuketown as well.
Yes, Nuketown is in the works. Nuketown's been going a bit slower, but that's just because we're waiting on getting the equipment. We have to do all the polls and make sure that the buildings are built to spec so we can actually have that second floor.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, that's going to be unreal too. That's coming up soon at that field. That's going to be awesome. Um, yeah, no, and then any other like big projects that you guys are working on at the field or?
Not on the field, but right now it is almost complete. I'm working on the Airsoft Tank Mark III.
Oh, yes.
Yes, very excited. You and I are on the opposite sides of you're the sniper man, I'm the armor guy.
Yeah.
I've been on snipers, never had any interest, but tanks, that's my, bread and butter. I love the armored side of it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like some takes too. I play War Thunder myself.
Oh, fair enough.
I'm a big fan of the M51. That thing
goodness.
is killer.
I was gonna say, what nation do you main in War Thunder? There's a.
So I'm mainly a U.S. main, but I recently grind up the top tier Russia for planes. So I have the Su-27 SM. I'm mainly a pilot.
Okay.
But I have up to 5.7 Russia, 6 something Germany. A lot of the tiers for U.S. This is all armor.
Yeah.
I do have top tier U.S. and top tier Russia for planes. In fact, I actually have a few. I have the Moderna.
Oh, nice.
So from Slovakia for the USSR, I have them, and then I have 7.3 Israel. So it's like if I get mad with the main nations, I just all right, M51 time. It's a glass cannon. Either somebody's gonna get killed, or I'm gonna get killed easily.
Yeah, for me, I'm a bit of a weird guy. I play Italy. Italy's my favorite. I have almost all the Italian vehicles.
Oh, so you're a connoisseur of the R3.
No, R3's kind of a scumbag vehicle. I'm a connoisseur of more like the bread at 90 millimeter.
Oh yeah, yeah, the bread is cool.
To get back to what I'm saying, I think that Airsoft has the ability to integrate armor in it and have those kind of game impact vehicles. Yeah. A lot of people know it's funny they only play infantry, so they don't know the limitations that tanks have.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time you'll be rolling up like, okay, guys, I need the infantry to go forward. This is an urban area, and they're like, no, I have the tank go forward. The infantry do not realize the tank is blind. That is the biggest thing. We cannot see anything when we're buttoned up.
Right. Now, for this Mark III, what are you going to arm it with?
It is going to have an Echo 1 minigun and an HPA pneumatic cannon to shoot rockets, Nerf rockets.
Oh, that's going to be awesome.
It's one of the little micro miniguns, so it fits in the tank perfectly. It's this little teeny gun, but it gives you a ton of rate of fire, high rate of fire and pretty good capacity.
Yeah, that's that PMG-5. I've seen that firsthand. That thing is a little ripper itself.
It's a wicked little gun. They're really cool.
Yeah, we had a Juggernaut game at the Yakima Airsoft Center where the Juggernaut was just primarily outside, but now the goal was that you hit in the Juggernaut in the chest, they count to 3. If you could tag the Juggernaut, they're on your team. But nobody was able to tag the Juggernaut, and Beeper was the Juggernaut.
Nice.
Oh yeah, it was fun. I actually have a dual POV video on that as well on the channel, and that was fun.
Fun yes, too. Yeah. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, the beeper cam. Yeah, but no, no, that's huge. I think TDL we're working on a technical as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so he's donating his old Blazer to the team, and we're gonna blast it and give it some digital camo, and we're gonna. He wants to get the big classic army um, HPA one on top
Oh,
of it.
geez.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
that's gonna be insane. But and yeah, I mean, it's got like it's a little compact SUV, so you got room for a few troops in the back.
Sure.
So yeah, no, armor and airsoft is real interesting. What people can come up with for sure.
It falls into one or two categories sometimes, and that's either super overpowered and destroys the game, or almost worthless sometimes. And that really just depends, on how many tag-ins are in play and what the field rules regarding tanks are.
Oh yeah, and honestly, I think the Nitehawk tank is pretty balanced if you
I
think
do
about it.
too. I do too. It's
Like,
not fast, but it has good, armor.
hmm yeah, no, it's armed with whatever machine gun or something you want to put into the turret, and then I mean it's got what the hoops on the back and the sides where you take it out.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, so that's pretty balanced fare.
And the visibility out of it isn't amazing, so you can maneuver if you're infantry,
Hmm
and as long as you take your time, you can definitely maneuver and kill it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that was the funny part. It was that Sunday game, the Mr. President game.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that was funny. It was just what me, Art, and then Beeper and Meeseeks in the tank, and then Thomas, and then it was I forget. It was what Art's daughter's boyfriend with the minigun, and then everybody else.
Yep.
And everybody's
Yep.
like, come on, push up. No, you guys have armed to the teeth. I mean, yeah, we're somewhat armed to the teeth, but you have numbers.
They had 3 times, almost 4 times the number of people. I
Yeah.
think one of them being new players, they made the mistake of trying to flank around and go to the open ground. If they had stayed in the city,
hmm
they play to their advantage. If you have those, CQB guns, that's the best way to do it is force, your advantage. Like I
Right.
told the guy at this last game, he was running a DMR,
hmm
and he's no, it's just under DMR. I apologize, but it was like 1.8 joules, and he says, "What am I supposed to do if someone runs up on me?" It's like, well, that's on you. If your other people are not responsible for your minimum engagement distance, if they're playing CQB, they want to get close. That's to their benefit.
Right. And it's like you should have had a CQB sidearm on you to begin with.
Exactly. That's my biggest recommendation. That's if Alex gives one piece of advice, say it's if you're running a hotter gun, have a sidearm. Have
hmm
a pistol of some sort, an SMG, anything.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I should know. Yeah, no, it's it was pretty fun. And then Trouble in Terrorist Town. That's always flipping fun. That was the first time I've ever played that in Airsoft, and that was a wicked good time.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a game mode that I really like. I think it's fun, especially when you get a good group of people because they're people that because you can play that and be like, oh, I'm totally the good guy or I'm the bad guy. Or you can just shoot everybody like Art.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit, here comes Art. Yeah, no, it's always a good time there. And then, I mean, the camping, I can't go wrong with the camping. It's nice to get out of the city for once. Just go out in the forest and huff that fresh air. Can't
Sure.
beat it. Can't beat it. So, okay, so with this tank, how are you building this tank? Like what base of and what motor or what's driving it and what are we how are we building this?
Mine is a PUG, which stands for Portable Unmanned. It stands for something. I can't even remember, but it's called a PUG tank. It's a walking tank. So I stand inside of it and walk. It's
Okay.
made out of PVC. The whole frame is 3/4 PVC pipe, 3/4 of an inch pipe, all screw gun together. And then the armor on it is made out of pickle barrel. So like 55-gallon plastic drums.
Okay.
We cut those up because it's virtually indestructible, but it's still light enough that you can carry it. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's heavy, but it's light enough you can carry it. And unlike wood, it doesn't rot, it doesn't fall apart. It's very, very durable material.
Right. Yeah, you did have a tank that was like a lawnmower base with wood. I do remember that.
Yes, yes. And the biggest issue with that was it was very top heavy. And the other issue is dealing with players. I like a man portable tank just for the reason of safety.
Mhm.
So with a lot of fields, they don't allow anything that has a motor because of that. As with my pug, I can take that to pretty much anywhere, and it's a tank.
Yeah.
But because airsofters, unfortunately, people will run in front of vehicles, they'll dive in front of vehicles, they do a lot of silly stuff. That's
Mhm.
like, oh my god. I am terrified of running someone over because I can't see them in a tank. So that thing is much safer in that regard.
Right. Yeah, so it's going to be like a mini light armor vehicle or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
That's going to be cool. That's going to be really cool. And people are going to look at that and they're going to be like, "Oh shit."
yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's
no.
funny, it's actually almost bigger than the real tank it's based off of.
Really? Is it
Yes.
the L3?
It's called the TK3. I'll send you. It's a Polish tank from the
Okay.
interwar period, or tankette, I should say. And so it's actually taller. The real TK3 was only about 4 foot tall and about 5 foot long,
Oh, okay, that little guy.
and it had a crew of 2 people in that. So if you can imagine,
That's a tight flipping space. Jeez, that thing's
very.
tiny.
The real one's crazy too because the engine is actually located directly between the two of them, and it's an unshielded engine with an open drivetrain. So you had to keep yourself tucked over. If you bumped the engine, you'd burn the hell out of yourself or get your foot caught up in the drivetrain.
Yikes.
1930s, they did not have health and safety.
No, they didn't. Not at all. Yeah, that reminds me of like, the L3 or the M22, those little flipping
Yeah.
tanks.
This is actually based off has the same ancestor as the L3. Both the L3 and the TK were based off a British tank called the Lloyd.
Okay.
It was a little like tankette they built in the interwar period.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were really light, and so a lot of countries that didn't have a lot of money bought these because they thought, oh, it's really cheap. We can just build a lot of these things, and they really didn't work very well, unfortunately.
Yeah, just mass produce them.
Yeah,
Just hammer
but
them out. Just keep selling, selling, selling.
and well, a lot of it too was they didn't have the ability to build bigger vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
So places like Italy and Poland and the Czechs, they really didn't have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have a lot of industry to build better vehicles. The Czechs finally started to build better vehicles, but the Italians and the Polish really couldn't. They didn't have the ability.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, no, that's going to be interesting to see on that field, especially D-Day.
Yes, yes, I will be on the German side this year if you can believe it. I told them I would, so
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, no. Also that speaking of like D-Day and World War II, that big World War II reenactment game's coming up too. Was it December 7th?
which field?
That's Elias's group.
Elias already had it was this last month. It was his CeeLo Heights game. It was November 7th, yes.
Oh, it was November 7th. Okay. Yeah, I wonder how that went. I know that Dale went and possibly Jim working the tank. Were you able to get to go? Oh, Hutch went.
I was not, but Jim was not able to, unfortunately. Dale
Ah,
was telling me all about it though. He said he had a great time. He said it was a lot of fun. Um, there was a lot of explosions, a lot of fireworks.
that's cool. Oh,
But
okay. So this is what I'm gonna bring it to the other screen so the folks at home
give
can
people
see.
an idea of kind of what it's going to be like when it's done.
Okay.
But yeah, Elias
Yeah.
really
Okay.
goes all out for that game. That's his big one.
Yeah, that's his baby. And then that's the tank that it's going to be based off of. Okay, so yeah, like a little walkable. Maybe have
Exactly.
some like caster wheels or something like that on it too.
Yep, that's exactly what it's going to have.
That's gonna be fun. Just the non-stop, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So how are people going to be able? Okay, maybe not share that. Be able to take it out.
Oh, it's gonna be no. It's good. I'm happy to share that.
Okay.
It's all about what I'm gonna have is a couple. There's two different ways to kill it. Either you can hit it with like a tag in or launch around of that sort,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm gonna have a button on the side of it. So like in Saving Private Ryan, they put the C4 on the vehicle.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a button people can run up and press.
Okay.
And the idea for that is twofold. One, I don't want people running up and like trying to stick their gun through a hole or something and shoot point blank because that sucks for everybody involved.
Mm-hmm.
And that just gives them a way of doing that. They can just hit that kind of thing. Because what I'm going to do is mine's actually going to have flags. It's going to have two flags, and we're going to do a game hopefully in the city or likewise where people can go up and when they come to the tank, you switch the color of the tank, and now the tank's on your side.
Okay.
So it's switching back and forth between the teams.
Maybe have like some of those like tap LED lights and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'll be cool. That'd be really cool. Yeah, no, I was thinking about something like that maybe, but I'm like, that's a lot to carry.
It is, but I've been doing tanks for years. I love tanks.
Hmm.
It's my, if I had to say one thing that was like my autism special interest, it would be tanks. You come into my house and pretty much everyone sees that. I got models left, right, and center.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's that. Yeah, my autism, my autistic ping or whatever you want to call it. That would be planes or
Aw,
cars.
sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like the seeing the F-117 Nitehawk in person. It's like, oh my goodness.
You would have drooled last year or this year rather. I went to the Air Museum in Dayton, Ohio, the National Air Museum,
Oh yeah.
and that's an incredible thing. They had all the Air Force previous Air Force Ones, and
Hmm.
you could walk through them.
Oh
And they had
sweet.
all they had a fighter jet hall, and then they had a World War One hall. It was real cool.
Hmm.
And speaking of aircraft, I'm glad you mentioned it. This year at D-Day, we should again have the RC plane, and we are working on using a real aircraft for certain immersive events.
Okay.
It's a Cessna Cub, but we're talking to the guy. Elias knows him, and so it'd be flying over, maybe dropping a bomb or two or some leaflets.
Oh, that's gonna be cool.
It'd be one of the few times in airsoft that a real airplane has been used. So we think
Yeah.
that'd be pretty.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, I've seen airsoft events where they've had helicopter gunners.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's going to be interesting. It's like, you can't really shoot those people, but they're shooting
No,
at you.
nope, can't shoot the airplane either. But that's why we just want to use it to like drop leaflets or maybe do audio or something. The aesthetic of it.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. It's like, hey, there's going to be a plane flying for all this stuff. Don't shoot it. But I mean, that's going to be cool. I mean, yeah, heck, like leaflets or like a fake Nerf rockets or something like that. That'd be cool to see.
Exactly,
Hmm.
exactly.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's going to be killer. I was thinking what would be a fun game. Now, this would be like for maybe a private game or stuff like that. The Sasquatch hunt.
Oh, jeez.
So we'll get a bunch of the crafted ghillies or ghillies out there and just play hide and seek. And it's the ghillies versus everybody. And the goal is to capture or, you know, kill all the ghillies.
Well, that kind of works actually. That's very similar to the turkey game that we actually did this last event.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, we did pretty much the same thing. There's two teams,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's a bunch of people dressed up as turkeys, and everyone's trying to hunt the turkeys.
Oh, yeah. I did that once, too. I did that last year.
Okay.
That was when I was just rocking a flannel and not the ghillie. I was like, I'm just going to hang out and sit back here and just take pot shots at people. That was a windy day too, like an
Yeah.
extremely windy day. I was what sucked is that I took a shot and I was aiming 10 foot to the left. It went 10 foot to the right, and I accidentally decked one of the volunteer refs in the face.
Oh,
I'm like, oh no! I wasn't aiming for that, but it just went like, phew, and the wind just took it, and I'm like, ouch! And it's like, oh, I won't be able to do that again. Yeah, I went up to him afterwards. I'm like, dude, I accidentally domed you in the cheek. Are you okay? He's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I got hit multiple times for a lot of people. I'm like, that happens. So,
yes, yes, it does.
but yeah, no, yeah, good things happening, man.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
hopefully, now I don't like to get political, but hopefully with these new tariffs and stuff, they don't affect the sport of airsoft too much.
That's
With
the unfortunate
imports.
thing. It really depends if they're going to be general tariffs or specific tariffs. Because if they're general tariffs, yeah,
Hmm.
almost everything comes from China or Taiwan. No one in the United States makes airsoft guns. Like they're
Yeah.
not made in the U.S.
Yeah, no, it's hopefully that's the case where it's not general. That's my main concern.
Yeah, all we can do is hope because our sport is very much dependent on being able to import all this stuff.
Right. Yeah. And affordability at that point too, because I can't imagine how much more it is to just get a spring for something.
Well, let's if it's say it's $8 for a spring right now, and they put a 100% tariff, you're paying $16 for that same spring.
Yeah, that's silly for a spring.
Yeah, let alone a gun or something like that.
So I mean, yeah, that's all the political I'm gonna get because it affects our sport.
Yeah.
Um, But it's like, to the viewers at home, if, I mean, business opportunity, especially in this state, if you got a CNC machine and you got the plans and blueprints to something, you know, that would be beneficial. I mean,
Yes.
there was one group over here that they were close to getting, the CNC plants and stuff like that, to where they would be on par and competing with Max.
Oh wow.
And they were so close, and then the main guy pulled the plug. And
Oh
they're like, what the fuck? Like, they were so close to getting, all set for that, and then it just didn't happen. Yeah, no, I know the guy. I know the guy too, and I felt so bad for him. I'm like, dude, that would have been so big, not just for the state, but for you guys.
yeah, big for the whole industry.
Mm-hmm. And I'd be getting parts from you guys 100%. Like,
Well,
local, don't have to import stuff.
Blue Mag, I know they're working on opening a BB factory in the United States, which is
Hell yes.
going to be massive.
I've heard their BBs, their ammo is superb. Like, I think the 208 Strikers are sponsored by them?
I believe they are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I need to get some blue mags. I have Lancer BBs I need to use up. I have a bunch of 4.0s. I think I will purchase some blue mag after they are, like, low or something like that. I want to try them out.
For you, my friend, since you snipe, what I would actually recommend for you
Yeah.
are some of the Airsoft Atlanta .69s.
Really? That heavy?
Yes. They
Huh.
fly. They are so straight, like for a sniper rifle. Or sorry, the .68s. My bad. I will link those to you. They're very expensive, unfortunately, but in sniping, I found these are the best BBs ever.
Okay, so they are white too. That's what I
Yeah.
like to see. Because
Yes.
I don't know, like, how Drew does it. I know he snipes with like .50 or like that, and they're like gray. I'm like, dude, how do you see where the BB's going? And he's like, I just do, or I hit him. I'm like, okay, it works good for him, but it's like, I like the color white when it comes to my ammo. I want to see where I'm shooting.
Yes.
Airsoft Atlanta. I'll have to check them out.
Yeah, those BBs are absolutely insane. They're very, very expensive. I will not lie. They're $17 for 50 shots.
Holy. That's not
But
even a mag or like 2 mags.
no, they are very. But the ranges you can get with a proper S hop or flat hop
Mm-hmm.
out of a VSR are we're talking 300 feet plus.
Wow. That is insane.
You railgun someone from low Earth orbit kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think, I mean, my SRS was making 90-yard shots, and that was just with 4.0s.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no. But, I mean, I'm aiming up a little bit, and, just it's that slight up arc hop, and then it drops. Like, it's straight, but it's like the slight curve up and then drops down.
Okay.
So, I call it like a long lob is what it is. Like around 80, 90 yards, that's when it starts to really drop. And I've noticed, Thomas, especially, he goes, dude, that thing doesn't hit hard at a distance. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, it just feels like a little tap. I'm like, wow, it is losing a lot of power in the long run.
Yeah, because what people don't realize, sure you're using a heavy BB, but if it's 200-300 feet, it's lost so much inertia to it that there's not much power behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if you shoot someone, close, it's going to be horrible, but that's why, these are specialty weapons used by specialty people,
Yeah. Which is why it's like I'm debating if I want to put my I have a Rapax 2.8 Joule spring in it. I mean, I can run that. I have a 2 Joule with my current spring. Yeah, it's a 2 Joule spring, and it's 2.4. I don't know. I want to get a Scorpion. I need to get a Scorpion piston for that thing, too.
Hell yeah.
But, I mean, it's working fantastic so far. It's like, do I really want to change it up? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But, yeah.
There's only one sniper rifle I have any interest in if I ever see one hop up for reasonable price, and that's the WA 2000 by Ares.
Oh, yes. I think the Swamp Sniper has a Kythera swap one where it's actually semi-auto.
Yes, he does.
Dude, that is insane. They're cool. They're flipping cool.
They're just so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
$700 new.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the same as an SRS,
True.
virtually. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, and so are you still looking for sniper for Alan?
No, I got him the Levar.
Oh, you did. Okay, yeah,
Yes, and it is very good.
yeah, because I was yeah. You asked us like any good bolt action snipers, and me and Mark were like, oh yeah, TAC 41 light sport.
Alan we ended up going with the Levar, and he is very impressed so far. We're gonna go do a type bore.
Oh, okay,
Probably different bucking because at 110 psi, he's around 2 joules right now.
holy cow.
So he wants to go up to 3
Yeah.
and get that tighter grouping.
Mm-hmm. He hasn't have you S-hopped the barrel yet?
No, I have not.
So Ryan from SNOS, another good tech of mine, he says use the 4 quad quantum.
Yep, that's what I've been using. The quantums are amazing. That's what I use. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put one in my squatch gun. I
I'm
wanna.
not. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be picking up a machine gun for my next thing because I love machine guns. I'm not a sniper. I'm not accurate enough.
Oh yeah,
I'm thinking about doing an M60 or a 249 and doing that with a quantum.
dude, it'd be a laser.
I know. I'm thinking that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, that'll be flipping killer. But it's like, yeah, it's like the S hop without the S hop. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah, it's just like got that right curvature with the nub and everything to where it's like you can't even tell the difference. I'm like, I gotta get one and try one out. Yeah, that is insane. That is insane. Yeah, but well, cool. Well, I think I'm gonna wrap it up there. I think
Sure.
Mom just texted me. I don't know. We got a dinner date tonight, so.
Oh well, I hope you have a good dinner date, my friend.
I appreciate that. And hey, thank you so much for coming on and visiting and just being up on the podcast and stuff, man.
Please, if you're interested in airsoft in the area, feel free to message me on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for a team to do cool Soviet militia stuff with, because that's what we're all about, modern communist militia soup, feel free to hit me up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Does Soup have a website?
We do not at the moment. It's just me, but in time I will get a website. That's in the works. One
Okay.
thing at a time.
All right. For the meantime, I'll just put a link to the Nighthawk Discord in the video description and all that stuff.
Yeah, just feel free to tag me there, and I'm happy to talk at any time.
Sweet. All righty, man. Well, we will talk to you later. Thanks for being on.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
We'll see you. Yeah, that's Alex Hudson. Dude, he is a awesome gentleman in this community. Yeah, definitely hit him up if you're interested in that Soup Squad shenanigan stuff. Anywho, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Airsoft Podcast. I am your host, TDL Sasquatch, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Like the sport of air.